my fabulous first grade friends. It's Tuesday, February the 2nd, in 2021. What are we learning in social studies today? We will identify the difference between food then and now. Look at my Bitmoji on the food. What food do you see here? Yum, I love hamburgers. Do you like hamburgers? Yes or no? Today we're talking about foods. How? We will read facts on Pebble Go to illustrate and explain whether we preferred food from the past or from today, the present. Why? We will be able to understand how technology has affected the foods we eat. Have you eaten any food today? Yes or no? What have you eaten today? Yum. Here I have two things from my lunch. I've got a banana and I've got some yogurt. Both of these are foods. I want you to think, are these things that they were eating long time ago in the past? Or are these things we only have today? Do you think they had bananas long time ago when George Washington was alive? Yes or no? Yeah, they grow on trees. They had farms back then. He lived on a plantation, so they probably were growing bananas. But what about this yogurt? Do you think George Washington had this yogurt long time ago? There were no grocery stores long time ago. You had to grow your food yourself. Is this something that grows on a tree or a bush? The strawberry, yeah. But then they take the strawberry to a factory and they mix it in with the milk and other ingredients you can read on the package. And they're creating the yogurt man-made out of lots of different products. It's not just all natural stuff. Long time ago when George Washington was the president, we didn't have all those food factories. We didn't have all that technology to create new foods. They were more growing it themselves. Today we're going to look at the food from the past and the food we have today. We want to compare. How are they same? How are they different? And then you are going to decide. I prefer food from the past or I prefer food today. Think of your opinion while you see the different types of foods. Are you ready? Pebble Go! Here we come!
Long ago, people in the 13 U.S. colonies got their food from the land. Men hunted deer and turkeys. They caught fish and seafood. American Indians helped them grow corn. People ate corn at most meals.
Remember, long time ago, we didn't have all the 50 states in the United States. There were only 13. And in those 13 colonies, they got their food from, not H-E-B, from the land. They had to hunt deer and turkeys. They had to catch their fish. And the Indians helped them learn how to grow corn. Think about those foods. Do you eat deer or turkey? Yes or no? Do you eat fish? Yes or no? Do you eat corn? Yes or no? Let's keep learning more foods.
Food on the frontier. In the 1800s, people moved west to the frontier. Pioneers hunted buffalo and raised cows, pigs, and oxen. Families grew corn, potatoes, and other vegetables. They churned butter and ground wheat to make bread.
Now, we're still in the past in the 1800s, but the people moved west. Remember? Never eat soggy waffles to the west. What's the frontier?
Frontier. an undeveloped area where few people live. Frontier areas lie between settled territory and wilderness.
Oh, okay, I understand. The frontier is where there's not many people and it's very wild animals. It says that they were hunting buffalo, cows, pigs, and oxen. Do you eat any of those kinds of meats? Yes or no? Hamburgers? Bacon? Those are cows and pigs. But they're still working on the farm like you see in this photo. They're growing corn, still corn, and potatoes. Do you like potatoes? Now they are churning butter. What is to churn butter?
Churn. To stir or shake cream to make butter.
Oh, so when you churn butter, you take some cream and you shake it or you stir it. But they are using the cream from the cows to now make butter. So they're starting to get a little more technology now in the 1800s. Remember before, we just had the fish and the corn. Now we have more meats and some more vegetables, plus butter. But let's keep going. Food is still changing.
Food in the early 1900s. In the 1900s, many people lived in large cities. They ate simple meals of bread and potatoes. Farmers delivered fresh meat, vegetables, and milk. Immigrants made food from their homeland like spaghetti.
More foods are coming on the table now. We're in the 1900s. It's been 100 more years. And now they have some simple meals, bread and potatoes. The farmers are delivering their food to their houses. They are not going to the grocery store. The farmers deliver them their fresh meat, their vegetables, and their milk. So now they have more meals going on the table, but they are simple. Immigrants. What are immigrants?
Immigrant. A person who leaves one country and settles in another.
Oh, so people who came to our country from another country are immigrants. So people who moved to the United States made food from their old homeland, their old country, like spaghetti. So that means if somebody moved to the United States from Italy, over in Italy, they had spaghetti. Now that that person moved to our country, they're showing us how to make those meals too. So our meals are going to start getting a little different after the 1900s. But think about some of these foods. Do you like bread and potatoes? Yes or no? I know I do. I'm eating potato soup today. Do you like potatoes? Do you eat potatoes? That's a food from the past that we are still eating today. Do we still eat bread? Do we drink milk? Do we eat meats? So we still have some of these same foods, but we're going to keep adding more and more new kinds of foods because we keep getting more and more new technology. We were in the 1900s. Now we're going to the 1950s. That means 50 years later. Now what are they going to eat?
Food in the 1950s.
Oh, look at this picture. What do they have now in the 1950s? What do you call that thing? It keeps it really cold. Refrigerators. That's new technology.
By the 1950s, machines changed what people ate. Fresh foods were stored in refrigerators. Stores sold canned soups, meats, and vegetables. People got their first taste of frozen meals and fast food.
Okay, boys and girls, here comes technology. The refrigerators have been invented, so now it can keep your food nice and cold. Now they have stores where you can go and buy your groceries, just like we do today. When the stores open, now they have canned soups, meats, and vegetables. They don't have the farmer delivering to their house anymore. Now the farmer delivers to the grocery store. People are now getting their first chance to taste a frozen meal and fast food. Think about these two last things. A frozen meal is something you buy at the grocery store in the frozen section. You put it in your freezer at home until you're ready to bake it or cook it. Have you ever eaten a frozen meal? Yes or no? Fast food. Does that mean I eat it really fast? No. Fast food is coming from a restaurant or a drive-through that gives it to you really fast. Like McDonald's. You can drive up, place your order, and they quickly deliver it to you through the window. Have you ever eaten at a place like McDonald's with fast food? Yes or no? In the 1950s, we had the technology to now start eating frozen meals and fast food. One more page, food today. Remember the other word for today? Not a gift, but the present. Present day. Let's look at the present food.
Food today. Today, people eat a variety of foods from many cultures. They buy food at grocery stores and farmers' markets. They cook with fresh, frozen, and canned food. People eat in restaurants more often than in the past.
Look at this picture. It says people today can choose from many different foods. Have you ever been to a grocery store? Yes or no? There's so much food in the store. It comes from all over the world and from different cultures. What are cultures?
Culture. A people's way of life, ideas, customs, and traditions.
So like we said, the other cultures, the other Italian food, spaghetti. Now we have Italian food in our grocery store. We have Mexican food in our grocery store. We have Chinese food in our grocery store. Lots of different cultures and foods are in our stores. Now, we also have fresh. Those are what they're shopping for here, fresh off the farm. We also have frozen foods, the ones in the freezer section. Or we have canned foods in a can. Lots of different choices. People also go eat in restaurants. Different than fast food where you drive through. A restaurant, you gotta walk in, sit down, look over a menu, and order with a waitress. Or a waiter. Have you ever been to a restaurant? Yes or no? Me too. There's no video for this one on Pebble Go. So it's time for us to get started. You will need 1, a pencil, 2, your crayons, 3, your journal. When you have these 3 things ready, Freddy, come meet me on video 2 and let's start your assignment. See you soon.